Hey guys, this finally came. You're never gonna guess what it is. Well, you could take a try. Yes, it's a box. But what's inside, I think, is gonna revolutionize the way that I do rinseless washing. And I think after you guys see it, I think you're going to maybe, you might agree. So let's get this thing open and I'm gonna show you just what it is and why I think this might be the next big game changer for a lot of us who have to work outside and who do rinseless washing. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we have our box, and I'm sure you're excited to hear or wondering what's in it. But before we open this up and see what's inside, I want to show you what we're currently using for our wash system, okay? Because this is a big deal to me. So a lot of you guys are using what we call a tint keg, a wash keg, a detail keg. And basically what this entails is you take an old 5-gallon, they call them corny kegs or ball lock kegs, and you fill these with a wash solution, a rinseless wash, chemical, whatever you're going to use. All right, you fill it up. You then hook up, or what you have to do is you take, I'm going to show you this, the lid that's on it, you take it, you drill a hole, and you put a Schrader valve in there. And then what you do is you have to take a compressed air, you hook up your air line there, and once your lid's in place, you pressurize the whole tank to 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever it is, PSI, up to, the valve is supposed to work up to like 110 or something like that. But anyway, you pressurize the tank. Now that's really good, except a lot of times the O-rings, especially on the old ones, the O-rings can leak, so you lose pressure that way. You have to, and then what you have to do is every time you need to add more product, you have to depressurize the tank. You pull off the lid, you fill it up, and then you have to repressurize it again. And in my case, because I use my Ryobi compressor, my little portable one with the battery, that takes like 4 or 5, maybe even longer minutes to go back to like 65 PSI. Now the other issue with the compressed tanks is that as soon as you pull the trigger to spray, you start losing air pressure in the tank. What that means is that, you know, normally for a car, you're going to get a rinseless wash. You can easily do that with one tank full of like 65 to 70 PSI. That's going to work fine. But I also use this to like rinse off when I do wheels and tires out in the front, or if I don't have a pressure washer with me, I use it to rinse wheels and tires. And well, that air goes really quick because I'm using a lot of water. The other thing is that you can't fill them up. You can't put 4 or 5 gallons in there. You can only put like 2 to 3 gallons in because you need to leave the rest of that space for air. Now, in fact, before we go any further, let me kind of show you something. This is just if you're looking at doing a normal conventional wash keg, all right, go ahead and just buy one of these hoses. If you're going to make your own, get one with the like a Flexzilla type, just a regular airline hose, 1/4 inch. All right, it's going to be way easier for you. And the other thing too is just use a plastic. Okay, you don't need metal. I've dropped this so many times, I haven't even broken one of these. And to be honest with you, like the repair is so easy on these if you do. The price that you're going to pay for one of those metal fittings that goes on your keg, you could buy like 10 of these things. And then the other thing too is, in fact, let me kind of show you that, okay? If you put this on, there we go. So if you have it normally like this, if you pull it over, it can hit the ground and you could theoretically crack this. But if you just turn this and then route the hose before you put your end on with your sprayer wand, or you can have even a connector, just route the hose under the handle in the handle here, and you'll never have to worry about ever breaking this, and you've saved a ton of money on that. The other thing is I recommend this type of hose versus this type of hose here, okay, because inevitably what wants to go like this will eventually want to come back like this. And so as you use product out of the keg is going to become lighter and it has a tendency to tip over. The other thing is this also gets caught because it's in a spiral. It will get caught around itself and you will spend time trying to coil it. And if you've ever been in one of those gas stations trying to put air in your tires, you know exactly what I'm talking about with a coiled hose. You sit there trying to pull on it, and it's just a pain in the butt. I have learned, I liked this originally at first because I was like, oh, I could stretch this out, leave the keg in one place. And then what I found was that it's completely, or a pain in the butt. So the other thing too is, as you carry this around, this wants to bounce. It wants to drag on the ground. I found myself almost tripping on this multiple times. And the other thing is, it also, because it's kind of springy, when I'm trying to do the top of the car, this tends to bounce a lot like this. And I found myself actually slapping the side of my car, the paint on the side of the car with the hose. So I don't like this anymore. I use it just because everything's hooked up and I got it all like really nice and heat shrunk and everything else. But honestly, I don't like using the coiled hose anymore. I would much rather use your regular conventional, like basically flexible airline. So having said that, let me show you exactly what was in the box. All right, guys, here you go. This is what was in the box. It is from Tru Spray Systems. It is their electronic airless sprayer system. Now, it does say on the box, it says the original. So I'm assuming that there are other people out there, other companies making these. But anyway, this was actually suggested. In fact, before we go any further, this was not a sponsored video. I didn't get a discount on this. Like, they didn't offer me a discount to do the video. They didn't send this to me for review. I literally just ordered this on my own because of a comment or a suggestion from one of you guys, one of my viewers here, asked me if I had ever tried this. And I looked into it. And to be honest with you, I think this is the next greatest thing to actually boost the detail keg, the detail washer, the wash keg. This is going to, I think, boost the game. And here's why. Because you don't need to pressurize the tank. This has a pump in it. It pumps water, or it pumps your solution from the tank and pressurizes the hose, and it maintains constant pressure. What does that mean? It means you could fill the tank up with 4 or even 5 gallons of your solution and literally use all of it and never have to stop and repressurize. That's going to save you a ton of time. It's going to allow you to put more product in the tank, and it's going to allow you to work more efficiently and faster. So, having said that, let's get this box open. I'm really excited for this. Let's get this box open, see what's in there. All right, guys, so here's our box again. And what came in the box, there's a couple like little sales ads things here. And, you know, they want you to leave a review, things like that. And they talk to you about usage and warranty guidelines, which this is pretty important. Now, I really happen to think that their warranty is I mean, considering the cost of this product, a 6-month at most warranty, I think really needs to be relooked at, and maybe even increase the length of the battery warranty. Even if you're not going to cover like some of the other parts for more than 6 months, look at least at doing the battery or charger for a year. Given the cost of the product, I think that would go a long way. But anyway, you know, check that stuff out. Comes in the box. Now, once we have our box, we just open it, and this is like really amazing. It is hand built in the USA. Obviously, everything is not made here in the USA, but this is like a really professionally done box. Their logo, the artwork, everything about this box. In fact, let me flip this over because it tells you all about their stuff. You know, all the features of this. I mean, this box is really, really done up nice. Really like it a lot. So, having said that, let's get this thing open. Okay, so the first thing that we see, in fact, let me zoom up really quick here. So even the inside of the box has all kinds of information, picture, diagram, you know, it shows you how that looks. Kind of gives you a little bit of sales points on here. Super, super cool branding. I know branding doesn't like work for me, you know, like it's not actually doing anything for me, but I really appreciate the attention to detail that they did. They didn't just put this in a cardboard box and ship it to me. So let's get to the actual product here. So I open the box and I see, in fact, you can actually order extra batteries. There's actually a place in here for 2 batteries. I ordered it with just a single battery. And the kit starts at $359 and goes up from there. So you can get different nozzles. You can get another battery added on. You can do a longer hose. I got the longest hose, so I had to add on cost for that. All right. So you can kind of customize this to your needs. But the battery itself, I mean, their branding. Literally on the sticker here on the label, it has their branding on here, okay? It's 12-volt lithium ion, okay? I mean, even in the molded plastic here, it's got their company name. I mean, the attention to detail from them, they're not just using generic stuff off the shelf. Completely amazing. All right, same thing with the charger. Let's pull this out. I mean, this thing's really nice. Single battery charger, but it's got their logo on here. It's like a little puffy sticker. Really cool. You just plug this in. It even has a little thing you can mount it on the wall even, so you can hang it on the wall. You can just plug this on the wall. It doesn't even have to sit on a workbench. In fact, I've never had this out of the box, so this is pretty cool for me. So then we get our hose set up. Now I opted for just the plastic wand. You can get the metal, that's an extra cost. I opted for the plastic, and then instead of a normal spray, like I opted for this spray tip. It's an adjustable spray tip. And I opted for this plastic because the ones that I already have, I can just unscrew this and I could add the longer wand. I could add different tips on there if I need. So that's why I opted for this over a metal wand. Now, I see this. This is really nice. It's got a nice swivel. In fact, it's a brass swivel. Very nice. If you get the normal sprayers off of Amazon, like the T-Jet, it comes with more like a plastic. Not quite as good. This is really nice. And even, well, check this out. Even the heat shrink has their logo on it. Like that's pretty cool. In fact, the spray hose, every bit of the spray hose has their logo, their branding all over this. And it's really nice. It's a silicone hose. It feels flexible, super flexible. I really like that. Now, the other thing I opted for, and I paid a little extra, is there was an upcharge of like 30 bucks almost for a connector. In fact, we'll pull this out. So I also opted, I bought an extra, this is, I think, the hose, you wrap it around the hose, like the hose hanger. So I paid extra for this. It was like $6 or something. And then I also wanted to use multiple, because I have my own hoses. I wanted to be able to use multiple different hoses just by connecting to the same thing. So I also ordered an extra male end so I could hook this into my existing hose and then have multiple hoses. And then with the upgrade, they put this on the end for me, so I paid the extra money and they included this on the end. And then if we get to the actual components here, they also then spliced this end here into the system. Now, it has the plastic end that you would hook on your keg. And again, I mean, the labeling, the branding on this is just absolutely amazing to me. And when I look at this pouch, because it comes in a pouch, I mean, you could see the size of my hand. It's really not much bigger than the size of my hand. But this is like a neoprene. This is really sweet. It has Velcro on it. This is the on-off switch. So the on-off switch is built in into the pouch, and then there's like the little wire that turns it on and off. That's really cool. So you would just flip the switch on the side to turn it on and off. And then the pump itself looks like it is right inside here. And then let's see, where does the battery go? I'm assuming, let's see here. Well, we'll figure out where the battery goes by the time I show you guys what's going on with this. But anyway, like maybe it goes in here. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. There's the battery holder. You would slide the battery in there and zip it back up. Hang this on your keg and get to work. So anyway, I mean, even their branding. Look at this. They even got the little tag on there. But anyway, guys, that's what you get in the box. So I'm gonna grab the charger, the battery here. I'm gonna go charge everything up. I'm gonna get this hooked up to my tank and test it out, make sure it works. And I will be right back to show you, give you some demonstrations. Let's get going. All right, so I was able to charge the battery pretty easily. I mean, it did take a while. I don't know how full it was when I got the battery, but it did take over an hour. But anyway, so got the battery charged, plug that in here, and in fact, it is a little bit difficult to get the battery in. I'll go over all that stuff at the end, but I want to do a test. So the first test is basically, I want to see how much time this might save. So what I did, and this is kind of a little bit of cheating because I usually put like 2 gallons of rinseless in my keg and then 3 gallons of like air headspace, I guess. And so this time though, I put 3 gallons of water in the my old wash keg that I'm going to pressurize. So that means the compressor only needs to fill up, 2 gallons worth of space in there. But what I want to do is I'm going to turn on the pump, and when I turn that on, I'm going to have it set for 65 psi, which is normally what I always set it for when I pressurize. And when I hit start, what I want to do is turn this on and start washing the car. And I want to see how far I can wash or how much I could get done before this even gets pressurized, because I want to see maybe how time efficient this method is. So that's going to be my first test. So let me grab my wash bucket and we'll get going. All right, so I have my wash bucket set up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on. And on this one, I literally still have the hose, everything inside the little hose carrier that I got. I'll worry about that when I get going. It's just part of the setup, I guess. So let's set this to 65. All right, 65 psi, and let's get started.
I drove in the Palisade, hoping for a gig with a little extra pay. No place to stay, thought I'd be sleeping in my car again. It was by the peach orchard there, a man looked at me and knew how I fared. He smiled and said that he might have a hand to lend. We saw the joker and the thief fighting right there in the middle of the street. So he says, come in off the road, sit yourself down and warm your bones. Rest assured, we got a good cup of coffee around here. Take all the time you need, and if I don't see you before you leave, just know that old hope is always better than fear. Yeah.
Finally, 65 psi. So I was able to do half the hood, the windshield, half the roof, half the back there, and then pretty much, both doors, the windows, and the front fender there, and I was going in for the back there. So almost half the car, almost half of a complete car before this even kicked off. And in fact, if I would have only added 2 gallons of rinseless like I normally do to the wash keg, the pressurized one, it would have taken even longer. I probably could have completed at least half the whole car. So that's just literally how efficient I can become now just with the electric version. And that's not even like having to go back and repressurize halfway through, anything like that. That was just a test on how long it takes even to get ready and how much I was able to do. So anyway, oh, and the other thing, guys, this is absolutely crazy. The pressure from this is far greater. In fact, I'm hoping you can hear, let me get close. Super quiet. completely super quiet. It's just a hum. And, you know, you probably heard that going on in the background. You know how big, you know, how loud one of these compressors is. This is super quiet. The other thing too is the pressure out of this is far greater than the pressure out of this, even at 65 PSI. Super pressure. Honestly, when they said this has like 90 PSI, I didn't believe them. Because, you know, usually 90 PSI is like, yeah, okay, that's what it stops at. But when you're using it, it's probably less than 90. But in this case, it's greater. I know it's greater than whatever I'm getting out of here when the tank is pressurized to 65. So there's that. The other thing is the priming aspect of this was absolutely crazy. When I first filled this up, there was nothing in here. I turned it on and it literally ran for like 5 seconds. And I pulled the trigger and I already had water coming out of here. It literally pressurized everything that quickly. It drew the water out into the pump, pressurized this within 5 seconds. So super fast, super efficient. And well, anyway, that's test number one. I'm going to have to, I wanted to test the wheels, cleaning wheels, rinsing and stuff, but the parking lot here is completely muddy and I didn't really expect that. So we'll have to check on the wheel. We'll have to do a wheel test maybe tomorrow or something like that. So anyway, we'll be back with the next test in a minute. All right, guys, so I kind of came up with another test because I'm going to be switching, you know, when I do water and stuff, if I do wheels, rims, I need to see how quickly, because I might not want to open this up and actually switch or pour more water in there. Maybe I want just like 2 full tanks or 3 full tanks or whatever it is. So I want to see how long it's going to take me to move the system to the next tank. So let's see. Well, this is just Velcro that doesn't need to move, but basically I just do this, pop that off of there, pop that on there, and this goes on here. Well, heck, we'll move the Velcro over anyway. Wow. That was super easy and quick. Yeah, I'm really digging this thing so far. So we'll be back when it's light enough to do my my wheel cleaning test. So thanks for watching so far. All right, next in our test for the Tru Spray system, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use this. We have warm water in the wash keg there. I have it turned on, primed and everything. So I'm gonna hit this with my wheel cleaner. I'm gonna clean the tire, do the wheel cleaner, and then I wanna see how well this works, rinsing that off, and then I'm also gonna spray out the fender well too. So let's get into it.
I'm familiar with your kind, my friend, and it's unlikely you'll have a respectable end but me. I'm a businessman, and I know life like this cigar in my hand. Too many people don't know if you cut it too high, it will unravel and leave you dry. I keep one for my Romeo and Julietas, the other for your fingers. You say you want more money for a trip to Vegas. I have no confidence that you'll come back to see us. Yeah. Man, I thought you were smarter than this. My only interests are cigars and interests. You're good for it is all you say, but you ain't won nothing since that horse lucky day.
All right, so we got everything washed off there. Let's see how this rinses. All right, puts out a lot of water. I'd say this is doing, actually, you know what? I like this better than, way better than the compressed version. In fact, I mean, right now, this is more of a jet, but like just to get in back inside the barrel there. Let me get more of the spray going on. And this is really nice. Make sure I get all that junk off the caliper. There we go. Didn't have to repump it. And now if I want, I can even kind of get into this wheel well and get some of that salt out of here. Adjust it a little bit. This thing is super quiet. I'm absolutely loving this thing so far, and it never runs out. In fact, you're supposed to actually, I keep forgetting this. This is the downside. I have to keep doing that. You gotta make sure that you like pull the damn it. You gotta make sure that you pull the pressure relief on there. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm even getting more pressure now. So you got to make sure, guys, you pull this pressure relief. I keep forgetting about that. I keep screwing that one up. But anyway, so we've tested it with the rinseless. It's way faster than compressing, you know, putting air in the tank and then waiting for that stuff. Works great on the wheels here. The changeover super fast. And in fact, before I did this test, I actually did a test where in fact, let me just show you some of the video right now. I actually did a test where I sprayed on some Bilthamber Touchless mixed with some just some shampoo. And like, as you could see, this again, and I kept forgetting, I forgot to release the pressure release valve. But again, you could see just how easy this sprays everything off. It has plenty of pressure to rinse off even soap off the car. Now again, it is no pressure washer. All right, it's just pumping out of a 1/4-inch hose, out of a keg, a detail keg, a wash keg, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, it has no problem just going, you know, or just rinsing that soap right off. So if you needed to, you know, on the bottom, the lower parts of your car, you can even use like a Preludio, or not a Preludio, but like an actual like Labo Cosmetica, what is it, the Primus and Purifica on the bottom if you wanted, and then go in with the rinseless after, you know, just rinse it off with the detail keg or the wash keg here with the Tru Spray system. Just give it a quick rinse and then go in with your rinseless. Just change to a different keg and you know, there. So I'm trying to think of what other tests I could do. I've been using this a bunch already. In fact, as many times as I've used it, you could see. Let me show you that right there. As many times as I've used it, it still is showing a full battery. And they told me when I bought this, because I had contacted them, they said that a battery would likely last you almost 50 gallons. And I've done maybe 5 or 10 so far. So I've gone through a bunch of kegs, you know, just testing, doing rinseless. So I'll try and think if there's another test that I could do. But honestly, like, I'm absolutely loving this. So, you know what? Let's just stop that there, and I'm going to come back with my final thoughts and kind of give you a little bit of overview of the pros and cons that I've thought of right now. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So you've seen some of the testing. Now let's get to the pros and cons, kind of our overview, our final thoughts on this product, because really that's what it boils down to. Is you want to know, or you want to hear, hey, is this worth it for me? And if you haven't, if you don't know based on that testing, I'm going to kind of tell you my, I guess, opinions on using this after 3 weeks now. In fact, I'm recording this December 24th, Christmas Eve, 2024. I've had this product now for 3 weeks, and I absolutely love it. But let's get to what's going on with this thing, okay? In fact, let me move this so that you could see. There we go. All right, so we went from just our normal sprayer with the valve, and you had to pressurize it. I got the little Schrader valve there. You had to pressurize that. We went from that to this system with this pouch, and there's the compressor inside the pouch there. And again, this thing is fairly small. It's nice and compact. It really doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's actually really light. And there's a little switch on the side. Really nice batteries in the pouch there. In fact, let's just get to the pros here. We'll go over the pros and cons. So first of all, and as I just mentioned, it's nice and small. It's compact. It has a lot of power. It pressurizes this thing really great. The components on this are to me, very high quality. I ordered with the little extra connection here so that I could switch out hoses. This is not a normal 1/4 inch. In fact, let me show you guys. This is a normal 1/4 inch hose connection. You could see the difference in size between them. There's a big difference in size. So this is not a normal 1/4 inch. The other thing is, in fact, I bought their little kit that has an extra 1/4, because of what I'm going to do on one of my other kegs or one of my other hoses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clip off this piece here that goes on the keg, and I'm just going to install the little connector. And that way I'm just going to have a shorter hose. This is like a 6-foot long hose. And instead of this giant coil of 25 feet, I think, I'm just going to use the 6 foot and carry this around with me, because it's super easy. This is really lightweight. So that's what I'm going to do. And like I said, this is kind of, I think this is a metric piece, but I haven't found one yet that replicates. So it's like, if you need parts, you got to go to them for the parts. In fact, same thing with the battery and everything, the charger. They have their proprietary little charger. The battery, if you need a replacement battery, it's $50 through them. So, and it's not like a Milwaukee battery. The terminal connections, the shape is a little bit different that goes in the charger. So it's not like your standard, it looks like a Milwaukee battery. It is not. The charger is different. The connections are different. But let's get into the pros and cons. So again, lightweight, battery lasts a long time. So there's a little meter on the side here. And if you flip the switch, there's 5 lights that go on there. And I don't have anything in here, so I don't want to flip the switch and it'll just keep running. But it starts red. There's red, orange, and then there's 3 bars of green. The battery lasts a long time, guys. I use this probably 15 to 20 gallons. Conservatively 15, probably 20 on the high end. I mean, that's a lot of use. 5 gallons is a big difference when you're spraying rinseless out of a keg. So 15 to 20 gallons. I was in the middle, so I still had 1 bar of green left out of the 5 different bars. So it was in the middle, 15 to 20 gallons. They say that you could probably get up to 50 gallons of spray out of a single charge. I'm going to take their word for it, because in my testing, I probably would get 40 gallons, maybe more, depending on use. So I believe them when they say you could probably get up to 50. Battery does last a long time. Now, some of the other pros. This hose, super flexible. It is better quality than, in fact, this hose, there's a little bit of a color difference. This is more neon green. This is more of a chartreuse. This is a Zillaflex hose, or Flexzilla hose, I'm sorry. This is a higher, you could tell literally this is a higher quality hose. This has like more silicone on the outside. Rinsing this stays cleaner. The Tru Spray hose stays cleaner. In fact, when I drag this across the ground and I get dirt on it, I literally just spray it off. after I coil it, I spray it off, and it stays nice and clean. It is fantastic. It uncoils real easy. In fact, let's get to that. So when I use this, so the other high quality parts, the swivel in the handle is a brass swivel, and it works great. It is very high quality. It goes brass even into the under the heat shrink here. So this is high quality, works great. The pump, super quiet, super powerful, plenty of spray power. That works really good. There, when I opted for the connection that I mentioned, this is very high quality. It's like a stainless. When you pull this out and pop this, it stays kind of disconnected, and then you just push this in to pop it into place. Unlike your normal 1/4-inch hose fitting, where you have to physically keep it pulled back in order to plug the next one in. So even the fitting there is higher quality than what you're going to probably find elsewhere. Let's see, what else do I love about this? It primes super quick, 5 to 10 seconds. When you run out of solution, you could tell it just loses pressure. No problem. You just turn the pump off. You pop the lid off. You just pour more in there. You turn the pump back on. 5-10 seconds later, you're pressurized again, ready to keep going. It doesn't matter. You could put a gallon in there, 2 gallons, 5 gallons, whatever it is. It's instantaneous. You can even, if you didn't even have a lid and you just poured liquid in there and then just started using it, you could even do that. So it's just super, super simple, guys. There isn't a thing, I don't think, that I don't really like about this at all that I could think of. The hose, the sprayer, everything is super high quality. Now, how I've adapted this for my use. So on the sprayer side, I bought it like this with just the adjustable sprayer. This is really good if you're doing windows or something like that. If you are spraying for commercial window film application, this is all you're going to need. This just sprays super easy. The mist pattern is fantastic out of this. But what I do for the car, because I need to do the roof, I just take that off and I take the little filter out. And then all I do is I take one of my other T-Jet, because this is just a T-Jet sprayer. I put in the long wand, just like this. And it's got the same end on it. But I just take that wand and I put that longer wand on there, and now I can just reach up and I do the roof of the car. Super easy. I can almost reach up on a sedan. You could hit the entire roof, one side of the car to the other on the top. And then on my SUV, I can get almost the entire roof from one side. And on windy days, that's great because then it's not blowing back at me. I could choose whichever side of the roof has the wind coming from my back, so I don't get the rinseless coming back on me. So this is how I've adapted it. Using this going forward for rinseless, I will use the long wand. And then I'm also going to use, because what I'm going to do then is my shorter hose, I'm just going to clip the end off and use the little end that I bought to have a 6-foot so that I could just carry the keg sprayer around with me. So those are the pros there. Super great, super easy, long battery life. Now, what are the cons here? This one is a pro and a con. The price of the product. Without this little coupler and with a normal length hose, it's $359 plus shipping. For what you get, the pressure that this puts out, the low noise, the quality that I see here, $359 is not outrageous. I say that because if you buy a tin keg setup, okay, that's fully done from somebody else, and you don't do it yourself with a new keg, you're going to be paying over $500. If you do just the hose setup, you buy the tin keg from somebody else, or they're going to sell you the little, they're going to sell you, the lid already drilled out. That's going to run you some money. They're going to sell you the hose, everything hooked up in there. That's going to run you at least a couple $100, $200 to $300 for somebody else to do that for you. This is literally what, only $100 or $150 more than that, and you get the whole You get the whole pouch, the pump, everything else. So to me, the price is not out of line. However, and this is the con, you have to pay plus shipping. So I really think that at $360, the price point is there, but I wish it included shipping. Now, the other con that I really dislike is the warranty on this. 90-day warranty on like the battery and stuff. This battery lasts so long that if you use this commercially every day, you would maybe replace the battery or charge the battery twice a week, realistically. Like at most twice a week, guys. That's how long this will last. At twice a week, you're looking at like 24 charges over the 3-month warranty period. If this battery will not last more than 24 charges, we have a big problem. I would really, and I understand in commercial, you don't know how people are going to use something, and I understand why you change up your warranties for commercial and stuff. But really, this should have a 6-month or 1-year warranty on everything. I just, or the battery should have like a 2-year warranty even. Like other companies, a replacement battery is only $50, so it's not going to break the bank. But they're in California. It's not like I could just order this stuff off Amazon. I'm going to wait a week for shipping. So if you do order this, in fact, let me just say right now, this is a strong buy for me. At $360, if you are a professional that needs this, buy 2 of these. Just buy 2 of these off the bat and buy an extra battery and charger. The battery and charger combo separately is $75. If you're professional, just buy 2 of these and then buy 2 separate battery and charger combos. I think you're going to be in it at like $1,000 or something like that with shipping for 2 setups. You're going to have one for everyday use and then one as a backup, because I guarantee after you use this, you will never want to put compressed air in this thing again. In fact, I rate this a 9 out of 10. For my own personal use, 9 out of 10. And the downside, the point that I'm taking off is for the warranty, guys. Everything about this I absolutely love. The pressure. In fact, the other con, if I could even say it's a con, is this puts out so much water. The pressure, I find myself going through more rinseless using this, probably twice as much as I did before with the keg sprayer, because the pressure is so much higher out of this, and I find myself rinsing a lot more, making sure, extra doubly sure that I rinse any grit off the surface, because it's so easy to use. I'm not worried that I'm going to lose pressure. It's just always there. The pressure is always there. So I do find myself using more product, rinsing, than I did before. So if you consider that a con, that's a con. But overall, 9 out of 10. I will never pressurize my keg again. In fact, I'm going to be changing everything over to basically use this. In fact, the changeover, that's a pro. Literally, all you do is you just unplug this and you move it to the next keg. You saw that in the video. I was actually shocked how easy it was. I honestly expected it when I did that test. I honestly expected it to take a little bit longer than it did. But, I mean, as you could see, it just plugs on there without issue. Just super simple. Now, the other thing I will say, the con, do not buy their little hose hanger. It's like $7. It's a pile of crap. Okay? It's just too big for what you need, and the Velcro doesn't go in the right places on here. I don't like this at all. Even with this big hose that I had on here, it is just oversized. You need to coil the hose because it hangs down so low. What I found was that I just went with this thing here. This is just a Wrap It. I bought this from Micro Center. They sell them on Amazon. And what I did is, because there's Velcro all the way around this thing, I can get this nice and tight around the hose. And then what I did is, instead of you could use a D-ring, I just have these little tie things that I use for photography. I think Tether Tools makes them, but I'm sure they're just bungee cords, elastic cords. It just goes like this. I just put it around the D handle, or I just put it around the handle on the keg sprayer like this. Tighten it up. like that. And then now I have this for the hose, and it works perfect. Is, you know, you could see there. So, and honestly, like I bought a 3-pack of these things for $6, and then a 10-pack of these when I bought them originally. They were like $10 for a 10-pack. So you could use Velcro to attach this anyway. So for the same price as the one from Tru Spray that I don't like, you could get 3 of these and then like mount one on every keg that you have. So, and you could just move things around. So that's the one thing that I do not recommend from them. Do not buy their hose carrier. It's just junk in my opinion. So anyway, guys, if in fact, let me just say this, because I'm sending an email today to them to find out. Like I said, I'm recording this on Christmas Eve actually. I'm going to ask them if there's a coupon code that I could give you, my viewers, for even if it's a limited amount of time. I don't expect a reply from them, so I can't say in this video if it will be there. But if there's a coupon code available, maybe for 10% off, at least enough to cover shipping, or maybe the coupon code will be free shipping to you if you're like in the lower 48 or something. Whatever coupon code that they're willing to give, I will put in the description below if there is one. I don't know. I'm not honestly expecting one because like I said, their price point, if it included shipping, to me is fantastic. I really enjoy this product. And like I said, I will never pressurize my wash keg again. This is just too good. And the battery lasts great. I'm a believer in the airless system. I'm a believer now in this system here. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And I honestly think the pressurized detail keg is dead, at least for me. So having said that, thanks for watching. Enjoy keeping your car clean. You have a great day.